All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Broken Family podcast. On this podcast, I think a lot of us want to let everybody know kind of what our vision and goal here is. And so I'd like to open it up to everybody to kind of talk about what this means to everybody or what you think this podcast should be.
Art.
Maybe you shouldn't be in the corner.
Put baby in the corner.
No, you're good.
That was in Dirty Dance.
Oh, I know. All right.
Well, no, I was just like, it started because of you, Peyton. When to have the whole family get together and write and read stories, poems, thoughts, just to see if it could help heal some differences in the family.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of why I wanted to start reading with everybody. I've felt like for a long time we've been very disconnected as a family, like not truly knowing who everybody is actually, and I thought that writing stories and reading them would be a good way to connect with people. So I guess why I think this podcast is great is because it allows everybody to be creative and to genuinely express different emotions and feelings that they might be having. Anybody else have any?
We've talked about it before, but it gives an opportunity to really understand someone. I think if you're sitting down and you want to have a conversation with someone about like politics or religion, it can be pretty
tense.
It can be pretty easy to have one or both parties get defensive. When you're sitting down and you're just listening to a story or a reflection or a poem that someone wrote, at least for me personally, I don't feel defensive. I don't feel myself get defensive, even if it's something I don't agree with. So again, I think it's just an opportunity for understanding people without certain walls. And that's kind of nice, something that's nice in our world.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. It gives a very interesting perspective. A very interesting perspective when you hear somebody that's written something very close to them.
I think it's been humbling. I guess I don't know if that's the right word. Hearing everyone express very personal feelings that were surprising to me because I didn't realize that everybody was, dealing with many different things. And for me, I also think that it's brought a strange sense of, I don't know what the word would be, maybe freedom to writing some things that I maybe wouldn't know how to say, or I don't know. I just feel like maybe now it's maybe getting a little fun just to write. Made me smile today. I don't know why. I have no idea. When you hear the story, you may not think so, but that's awesome. It just made me smile.
You haven't talked about writing in that way yet. You've talked about writing as being very stressful, so I'm glad it made you smile.
Yeah.
I think it's been a beautiful way for us as individuals in this family to creatively express feelings and experiences and struggles and joys that individuals have gone through, and express that in writing. And for me as the father and the dad and the papa, it's been an affirming thing to me of how unique and beautiful each individual is in their life's journey. And I've loved that part about this gathering that we've done together.
I guess I truly hope that one day, because we have 7 children and 6 in-laws, and I hope one day that every one of our children and their spouses will be able to come and share something, even if it's just once. I hope for that. And then I have found it incredibly fun when people we haven't known as much or we know more have come and read, and I thought that have read a story, and I have enjoyed that a ton.
Yeah. I think it's also very important, if you've watched this podcast, you can watch it on Spotify or on YouTube. If you've watched it, you'll notice a lot of people coming in and out, and it's very not traditional. And I think
very
that's
us.
Yeah, it's very us.
You get what you get.
That's how we all want it, though. We don't want this ever to be something that feels forced or
sterile.
Yeah, we want this to be very organic. So
and natural.
Yeah. So if there's any confusion on why it's set up this way, that's why.
We want people to be able to feel like
They're part of it.
You want to finish that?
No, sorry.
Go ahead, lean in.
Part of the family.
Thank you.
One more thing before we officially get started. Jeffrey this is our first week doing this without Jeffrey. Jeffrey's a big part of this, getting this all started, and he's going to be a big part of this going forward. We just had to figure out all the logistics around that. But if you're watching, Jeffrey, hello.
Love you.
Hello from Utah. Yeah. So I was thinking, but she ran out of the room. I was gonna have Ellie start.
Yeah, I think we can. Let me say a few more things and then we'll go.
Okay. Well, does anybody else have anything else they want to add?
Have you liked anything about this?
It's been really fun to learn how to write and to get better at it and practice. It's a good brain exercise.
You have anything you want to tell your family?
Hope you listen one day.
Hopefully, maybe some will come and read.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
All right.
you're next.
Yay, Ellie! Woohoo! Woohoo!
You can clap.
You can do it.
Why?
All right. This is a story that Ellie dictated to me last Monday. This is all her. This is her words. This is what came out. She said, "Dad, I want to write a story, and I want to call it Falling Flowers." Here we go. There was a little girl named Unicornia. Unicornia went to a falling flower tree. The falling flower fell and talked to Unicornia. She screamed. The falling flower said, "Unicornia." Unicornia said, "How do you know my name?" The flower asked, "Do you want to come travel with me?" Unicornia said, "Not right now." "Fine, I will come with you," the flower stated. Unicornia asked, "When do you always travel?" The falling flower answered, "I always travel on Sundays." Unicornia asked, "Why do you travel on Sundays?" The flower said, "Because I don't care if I do." "Why do you want to travel by yourself?" asked Unicornia. "Because I want to care about using your Unicornia powers," said the flower. Unicornia said, I can't let you. The falling flower asked, why don't you let me? We are friends, right? Asked Unicornia. Then Unicornia screamed and cried. It's okay, Unicornia. I will keep you safe from these monsters, comforted the falling flower. Unicornia asked, do you really want to? You will get killed by these monsters. The falling flower reassured Unicornia, stating, it's okay. I can turn into a human. Unicornia cautioned, but you don't have magic. Falling flower said, I can use your magic. Then the falling flower turned into a human. You don't have ears, observed Unicornia, and she stared at the new human form. The falling flower human blinked crookedly, like this. Remember? Show me. Yeah, like that. Unicornia kept staring, and the falling flower kept blinking. The falling flower was suddenly hungry, and Unicornia was thirsty. Falling flower followed Unicornia home. When they arrived at Unicornia's house, her parents said, maybe you should run away from this, pointing to falling flower. Unicornia said, but I really want to keep it. The end.
That was awesome. You wrote a book, a children's book. It would be perfect. It must be the way my mind thinks, because I thought it was a great book.
You have anything to say about your story? No? Okay. That was really good.
Good job.
I think oftentimes the youngest of us have the most clear view on what's going on around.
I thought that was a great book.
Yeah, I liked Unicornia.
I could picture the pictures. You need to draw a unicorn.
A unicornian unicorn?
Yeah. Isn't that her name, Unicornia?
Unicornia.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Alright. She get a pick? How are we doing this?
Sam, you're next.
Sam.
You're next, Sam.
Pickers and chooser.
Jeff.
So mine, I came up with an idea as soon as we picked the topic not yesterday, but last week.
Yeah, like, would you really quick say what the topic is?
Yeah, we
'Cause
forgot to say.
I completely spaced that.
And tell once a month.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, once a month we're gonna pick a topic from a list we have. As like 300 something different topics. We randomly pick them.
That we all
Once a
came
month.
up with.
Yeah,
by the
we all
way.
came up with. And I think the following Sunday we're gonna try to write our stories based around
And we're do it
the
once.
topic. So
First Sunday of the month.
this one was what was it?
When I was young, I liked blue.
Was it when I was little?
No.
No.
And then last month, the last time we did this was Murder Mystery Dinner.
Yeah, which is episode 3, I think.
So yeah, when we came up with it, I kind of came up with like a little rhyme in my head, and then from there I started writing like this thing, and it was more like thoughts for what a story could be, like a first story that I could write could be, and so they're not really put together all that well. But I think I was just gonna read them, and then instead of having like a conversation about like how much you liked it, just like pitch ideas for what I could write.
Okay.
Continuing this story.
Okay.
Or like work on it. Okay. Oh yeah, and did we? Never mind. Okay.
He's fine.
I'm like right in the camera.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Please top of your head.
Okay. Blue used to have the most beautiful hue. Forever from now, that magic color will be even more vibrant, is what every me said. Just wait, 10 screamed at the top of his lungs. The blue will be amazing. 12 never seemed to stop insisting. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All fought so hard. So 17, that number that was so very far away, could live in a world with so many blues. But now, when 17 looks at all the blue, Wait, hold on. When 17 looks at all the blue, all he sees is the same old hue. Nothing changed. Even though 17 is a combination of all those numbers that came before, I spent my me's waiting for a color that's impossible to make.
I liked it a lot.
Very good.
I really liked your climbing up your age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really good. I really liked your the way you did that. You wanted us to tell you how to continue.
Just like anything I could do, with it. I don't know.
I mean, I had the brief thought of writing a story or a perspective from someone who's colorblind.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought, like you had written it, writing all these individual characters, 10 being a person, 11 being a person, 12 being a person, and all their perspectives maybe differing, maybe together, and writing a whole story with all these different numbers.
I kind of thought of same idea because I thought of that movie. What's the one with the emotions?
Oh.
What is that movie called? Where
Inside Out? No.
They have
Inside Out.
In and Out.
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
In and Out's a restaurant.
We ate there.
Yes, it was very good food. I felt like you could do something like that same idea. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you were saying with the numbers.
Yeah.
I had that same idea too.
Your perspective of the color of blue, changed with every number that increased. And I thought that was a good way of showing growth and change in your perspective in life as you go forward.
Wasn't it not that the color changed, but that you thought it would change?
No, yeah, it was
And
like
never
they
changed.
were, the other numbers are expecting the color to be when it's said when they're finally 17, they're gonna see these amazing colors. It's gonna be there, but it gets there and it's the same as it was.
That's really, actually, very cool.
All right. You're not reading one this week, Marley? Okay. It's me. My turn then. So I wrote this right after watching the movie Mad Max. What was the full title? Do you know?
Furiosa.
Furiosa. Mad Max Furiosa. I was driving home and just wrote this. This is called Driving. Have you ever been driving? You're looking forward. Cars are passing you. There's a light up ahead. Slowly, the world around you seems to blur out. Is this really what we are supposed to be doing? A song turns on, music that breaks the barrier of reality just enough to see the truth. You are not living in the past. You are not living in the future. No, you are seeing right through the veil of lifelessness around you. Bring us deliverance from this necropolis we have built. Please move us enough to see our mistakes. Can this world, the world I was taken to, be our escape? Or are we damned? Damned to live a life like we hate the sun, to live a life like we hate the moon, to live life like we are disconnected from what we are, to run over nature, to throw out our souls, to live life filled with meanings of nothing, to walk in white buildings made for slaves. Have you ever been driving when a voice yells out, bursting your eardrums? What are you doing? A real world around you crumbles into nothing but a lost sense of security, comfort, and dying people. Not living people. We are waiting to die for what? Heaven? Hell? An afterlife? Nothing? Why obsess over billions of broken hearts when our own hearts matter much more? If you can fix what's been broken, you could be changing people's realities. You could be saving people from the unnecessary heartache, not the heartache you need to feel in life, the type of heartache that will go on with you for eternity. A realization that you have devoted your life to evil. You aided in the holocaust of millions of souls, all for the sake of driving. You followed your entire life. You led people down asphalt roads and up terrible glass buildings, all to feed the ego inside, a part of the self that needs to feel special. Like you actually mean something to someone, that you are more than just another human. We all die and we all are born. Sacrifices you were 1,000% willing to make only if it meant you would be in a more special place than you are now. Maybe it's not your fault. Did you know as you grow older, the literal eye lens you look through becomes a more yellow color instead of clear? This causes your world to stop being filled with color. A very sad but true reality. Yellow, green, blue, purple, all stop being individual colors. The world around you becomes a dull mesh of meaningless, untrue symbols. Why don't we spend less time trying to be special and more time trying to remember that you loved the color blue once? That when you were young, the world around you looked and felt totally undescribable. Driving right now, the choice to leave behind a broken paradigm is yours. I don't think I've seen many people make that choice. The choice to change. Tears that will fall only help grow a new person, someone suited for loving, for living. If only we spent our time remembering what it was like to run through fields with your arms out, the separate pieces of tall green grass tickling your arms, a feeling completely beaten out of each of us. Looking up and seeing the most vibrant shade of blue you've ever seen, pride, embarrassment, a longing to fit in, the lens you look through becoming more dull. Something happened. Life used to flow through you and you didn't even have to try. The wind hugged you and your feet never hurt. So again, I ask you, have you ever been driving, looking at the sky when a fleeting yet impossible to shake feeling takes over your body? The same feeling that came so naturally to you as a child. Only now you're not in a field with tall green grass. You're passing billboards, buildings, gray, black, and white. The soulless world engulfs your view. You are forced to face this necropolis we have built and will continue to build. Your amazement quickly spirals into fear. Most choose to look away or to close their eyes. They choose to push that feeling farther inside themselves. It's way too much to face in one moment. The brutal reality of the life we have chosen to live sets in, and you begin to remember that when you were young, you loved the bright blue sky. And mostly everything you do now is to run away from that blue. We hide in our homes, our cars, and behind our phones, scared of ourselves, scared of how others will interpret us, scared that if you leave the comfort behind, you might be outcasted by our society. Scared that if you try to live like we were meant to, then you won't be a part of this sweet, false reality. This blurring of the world around you is not an accident. It's a reminder that you ran through fields and laid in grass. You smiled at the sun. You loved the moon. You ran forever and your feet never hurt. The wind hugged you, and the snow only highlighted the beauty of the mountains. The clouds were wondrous shapes, the trees bigger than reality itself. Puddles were oceans to be crossed. You faced life with such surety. Once upon a time, you looked at the sky and you loved the color blue. Next time you drive and the veil that's been built through your actions fall and shatter, don't close your eyes and don't run away. Instead, pull your car over, open your door, get out, look up at the sky, and just remember.
I like that thing.
There was something in the beginning made me think about this idea of I don't know, something about the world's falling apart and we're like unaware of it. But it made me think of standing in a Roman settlement that was built 2,000 years ago in the middle of France with my son, and thinking about how they had this incredible amphitheater for politics and amphitheater for theater, and they had like shops, and to think about people living then thinking that they were, some of those people might have been thinking that they were somehow better. They were like rising the ranks in power and politics, and the world for each of us continues to crumble.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's so interesting.
As you look back at history, you see a lot of societies that thought they were definitely the most special and the greatest civilization that's ever lived. Yeah. And somehow something always drags us back to where we're supposed to be.
Made me feel, Peyton, that in our most vulnerable times and in our hardest struggles, if we could just find our inner child and remember the beauty and the freedom and the curiosity that we had as a child, and bring that forward into our chaotic adult lives, and I think it would help us.
Like Jeff and Will both makes me think of things. Sorry. Okay. Jeff saying about seeing the Colosseum. It was the Colosseum.
It was a Roman settlement.
Roman settlement. For me, I've been thinking a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's just getting older. You start thinking about your life can only go so far, and then we're not here anymore. And it was kind of making me think that one day this house, Dad and I won't be in it anymore. Maybe someone in the family will be here, but if you pick 100 years, none of us will be here except, could be generation, but it's just so interesting because you made it seem like you went through this time of chaoticness, and then by the end you were like, wait, let's just stop and look at what is actually around us, not all the chaos of everything that could be, might be, was, whatever. I don't know. It just made me, I don't know that I'm saying that right, and I think my thoughts get cut off, but which is difficult.
Before this podcast started, we talked about wanting to talk about if that fit the theme of tonight.
Oh, we did.
We didn't do it with Sam, so we'll do it with Sam after this. So, does everybody think, or guys, is there any thoughts about it fitting the theme, or?
Oh, you brought everything back to
by the end,
appreciating that the beauty of the vibrant blue sky, not only as a child, but after years and decades of your life, appreciating the vibrant blue sky, maybe even more as an adult.
Or now, just appreciating it now, wasn't it more?
Right.
Well, as soon as we had picked this topic, I remember hearing something that I'd just seen on YouTube, but as you grow older, it really does happen. Your lens in your eye becomes more yellow over time, and it literally causes your world to become more dull. You start seeing things less colorful. And I think a lot of the times, I don't know if that could aid to why sometimes adults seem to forget how they used to look at the world. But
yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Sam's then to see if you match.
Yeah.
Sorry, did anybody else have something to say about
Anybody
me?
else about Peyton's relating to the topic?
All right. I think
Adam might
Sam's.
have.
Oh, really?
Mine wasn't about that. It was more about just something you said in your story or poem. It was talking about just how everyone thinks that they will amount to something, or that there's something better for them waiting, or something's going to happen. And I thought that was a good observation, because I feel like that's how people go through life, just waiting. Their lives just waiting for something to happen, and then it never happens, and then it was just wasted time of waiting.
Yeah, in the end, we're all just people. We all die and we're all born.
I thought also, this just came to my mind about the whole thing. You know, when you're a child, you can't even conceive the purpose or the being able to use or drive this big, fast, 2,000-pound piece of metal.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, everything in your moment is just vibrant and beautiful and exciting and new. And here you're driving through life, driving and driving and driving and screaming because of chaos or whatever it is that you're trying to understand and face. And you come to the point, hopefully, that even though you're an adult and driving, you can go back to recognizing those beautiful moments that you knew as a child.
All right, Abby, you ready?
Are we going to do
We do
Sam's?
Sam.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot. I didn't forget. I just had said it and then we changed subjects.
So does anybody have anything to say about Sam's?
I thought it applied.
I thought it very much hit it right on the nose.
Yeah, especially because it grew with age,
Yeah.
and then it talked about blue all the way through. I thought he,
Yep.
yeah. I thought you nailed it, Sam.
All right, Abby, you're up.
Okay.
I thought, did you memorize it?
Dad, scoop over.
You want to scoot this way, Mom?
I'm a little scared.
No, I'll just scoot this way and Mom will scoot this way.
Okay.
Oh, we're missing.
You're just talking. Right.
Okay. This one is called The Girl That Wanted to Be Different. In a little town where everyone knows each other, there's a little girl named Beth. Beth was the oldest and only daughter in her family of many boys. Even though she was a girl, she wished she was a little boy instead. She wanted to do what her brothers did: Legos, video games, camping. But since Beth was the only girl in her family, her mother dressed her up in the most stylish clothes, did her hair, and dolled her up. She liked the attention, but was confused since she always desired more simple, comfortable clothes. Her clothes would itch, her hair would pull, and her shoes would blister her feet. While she looked like a princess, her heart yearned to go slide in the dirt, make mud pies and potions, or be like the boys that called her names and teased her. Even though her room was full of pink, she despised the color. In Beth's head, she didn't want to be associated with girly things. She thought long and hard and decided that a dark garnet red and black would be her new favorite colors. She thought it would be cool to say her favorite color was the color of blood. The age of elementary school was the hardest for Beth. She had the least say of how she looked, but she did have control on how she presented herself. Beth would take advantage of that and would show how much of a boy she could be. During every recess, she would play soccer with the other kids and her closest friend. She would go home with her knees covered in green and her shoes speckled with dirt. Some days when her mom got her way, Beth would need to wear sandals to school. When lunch recess came, she would have to tell her friends that she had to sit out of soccer since she couldn't run in her cute, clean sandals. Beth wanted to be different from the others, and she wanted to show she was tough. On one random day in her 3rd grade class, there was a new student. Her teacher had everyone in class go around and say their name and something cool or unique about themselves. Beth thought long and hard about something that would stand out and impress the class. The chain of answers eventually got to her, and Beth was ready to share. My name is Beth, and something cool about me is that I like the feeling of pain. The class turned and snickered and looked at Beth. A look of concern came over her teacher's face. The teacher quickly turned the attention to the student that was next in line, and Beth sat proud on her seat. She was happy her point was got across and that she got the attention she was craving. She didn't care if she got teased for what she said. She was happy it was remembered. As time went on, she realized she didn't truly enjoy her dark favorite colors. She still hated pink, but she wanted something more positive, but would still represent what she wanted to put off. Her closest and best friend in the world, who she looked up to, had the favorite color blue. Beth then decided that blue would also be her new favorite color. She thought it would be perfect since it's the opposite of pink. Her mother still controlled her clothes and appearance, but she still spent her time battling Sith Lords and saving the galaxy with her best friend. She would watch all the superhero shows with her little brothers. Even though she wanted to be a boy, she still had a little girl inside her. She still watched all the Barbie movies and has spent hours designing a home for her Barbies to play in with her friend. She had all the little girl toys possible, but still wanted a Lego set for her birthday that had all the pieces, or the Transformer, the Bumblebee. Beth would watch her dad play Halo or the video game Shrek. There was one game she would spend hours playing alone, trying to get better at games so she could keep up with her brothers, but she was always left behind. She would ask for games and got Just Dance. Her want was consumed by unwanted toys and clothes that barely got worn. As Beth grew up, she slowly started accepting the clothes she was put in and the color pink. She realized that her appearance was important and that she needed the approval of others from the compliments she got from her style. She started caring more about how she looked, and instead of using her personality to define her, she used her appearance. Beth slowly let the child in her disappear as she slowly conformed into the normality of society. She was told her eyes were small, so she needed makeup. Her hair was frizzy, so she needed product. Beth forgot about her quest to be like a boy and fell into girlhood. She held on to her favorite color, the color blue.
I like that.
So Beth really likes the color red?
No.
For blood?
No, it's blue. It's not
Okay.
even blue. I don't know. You'll talk to Beth.
I'll have to talk to Beth.
Yeah.
Are you is Beth deciding?
I don't know.
I like the idea that, well, I don't know if I like the idea, but the idea that society starts to buy ground in our head and at times dictate who we are. It's a really interesting idea. I've seen some of those YouTube videos where you'll see a model take shots and then they'll show like the before and they'll show it all doctored.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a beautiful woman, but they still like doctor it up and change it, and it's like, what the heck?
So there's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Usually, yeah.
It's pretty gross what marketing does.
Oh,
Makes him
I didn't even realize. I mean, I knew some of it, but I didn't realize
I'll
that.
have to show you a video.
I didn't realize that it's like that much.
To add on top of that, with AI that's coming out, people will be able to do that like over FaceTime live, make
Right.
themselves
Right, right.
totally
Oh my gosh.
someone else and be very
That's
convincing.
crazy.
Have different voices. Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
I really liked, I just liked how you were able to tell the story of how mom was controlling all the things, but Beth was able to get her little way by, saying different things and kind of throwing people off. And then you were trying to find yourself, or Beth was trying to find herself in there. And then, it's pretty crazy because I think we all take a time where we conform to what we think people want us to be.
I felt like Beth was trying to find herself, and then maybe this is something that we all struggle with. She kind of was overtaken in the end with society and the norms of society, and she kind of fell back into that. Did I hear that right?
Like fell back into being herself or just conforming?
Conforming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fell, yeah.
So is this to be continued?
No.
No.
All right.
Did you have a line that said Beth's wants were filled with unwanted presents?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I did think about that line. That was a really good line. How often
Giving gifts isn't good.
how often parents or adults in a child life don't see the adult, they don't see the child, they see the form of the child they want the child to be.
That's super interesting, actually. I've never thought of it that way. Huh.
So how does everybody think that fits into to the topic today? When I was young, I liked blue.
I don't think it wasn't relevant at all.
It was.
See?
You
I was
did it.
joking.
Yeah.
I was being sarcastic.
It
was
got there in
good.
the end.
Yeah, I got there in the end.
I didn't know if it was gonna get there.
There was color
I thought it was
throughout.
red.
Yeah, there was color throughout, but in the end, you brought it back to the topic.
It was a different spin on it for sure.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's where my head went right when I heard the topic.
Well, your head is yours.
Your head is yours.
Yeah, well, that's good. Thank goodness. We
That's
don't
the-
want to switch heads.
That's the wonderful thing about this gathering and reading is that everybody, to me, it's just been eye-opening. Everybody is so unique in their creativity and what thoughts come to their mind about the topic that's been chosen. I think it's wonderful.
It definitely is interesting.
Yeah.
Even with a very narrow topic.
Yeah.
Everybody did different.
I'm excited to hear yours. Which, by the way, you're going next.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
Little segue there.
Segue.
You didn't say who was going next.
He did.
I did.
You
I
said
said
you.
Jeff.
Did you say Jeff?
I did.
Ah.
I pointed at Jeff and said you. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
say.
you did.
Yeah, I
Yes,
didn't say
you
Jeff.
didn't say Jeff.
Jeff is going next. We do have a video.
Well, what if they don't want to watch it? What if they just want to listen?
I think you're the only one that doesn't want to watch this.
It's very true. I'm traumatized.
All right, this was a narrow topic and I don't know. This is weird.
I can't wait to hear.
This is where my head went. So the title of my story is Daryl.
Okay. It's
Can I add
Darren.
in how was this topic harder for you than murder mystery dinner?
The murder mystery dinner. I thought about several different veins, and then the one that I wrote just came to me. And so
Gotcha.
This one is this silly idea has been like knocking at my head, and I just finally had to bring it to life. Okay. This is the most important interview in the last 200 years, Mark Hamstan thought to himself with some glee, like a child on Christmas morning. Mr. Hamstan had risen the ranks of the news world. Through sheer determination and grit, he never accepted no in his younger days and broke a many mysteries wide open through famous bombshell interviews. Mr. Hamstan had over 100 interviews, so powerful they remained in the world's collective zeitgeist to this day. Mr. Hamstan shook his head in amazement. "I have arrived at the mountaintop," he whispered to himself. Why was Mr. Hamstan high with shock? Simple. A literal alien sat in the next room, in a chair, surrounded by cameras, waiting to be interviewed by him, Mr. Mark Hamstan. Mr. Hamstan took a deep breath, walked into the room, and extended his hand, simultaneously asking internally,
Do aliens shake hands? In this internally unsure moment, Mr. Handstand's keen power of observations kicked in. The alien was tall, a hint of light blue skin, and his neck was straight, not crooked and bent toward the ground like modern 22nd century humans. The alien's eyes were bigger and more round compared to the human's eyes. The nose was small and quite square, block-like. The lips looked as if the alien had survived a swarm of bees, but just barely. The alien, answering Mr. Handstand's internal question unknowingly, reached for the back of Mr. Handstand's head and pulled their foreheads together until they touched. One word bounced off the dark lips. Mark. It was said with such intimacy. Mr. Handstand involuntarily blushed. Mark felt uncovered in that moment, a sudden impulse to hide, popping inside. The alien released Mark's head and turned to go sit itself in the chair. Mark did the same. As Mark strained to fight against the downward curve of his neck and raise his eyes to meet the alien's staring gaze, his mind went blank, all of his years of experience seemingly vanishing. The only sound that escaped Mark's lips was a long "hoo," as if he was an owl searching for a mate. Who am I, Mark? My name is Daryl. Well, my Earth name. My family named me the Keeper of the Blue, Daryl answered and smiled. Mark, still straining against his neck and still feeling quite unnerved, managed another single word. Why? Well, Mark, that is an excellent question. My family found my name in a vision. Our people gather visions to inform our destiny. Before Mark could blink, Daryl continued. To your second question, I was drawn to your planet because of the beautiful blue glow reflected by the atmosphere. I stayed because you humans were so curious and entertaining. Mark cleared what must have been a very large frog in his throat. Daryl plowed forward. To your third question, Mark looked confused. Daryl was familiar with this very human look. So Daryl continued, I have asked for this interview with you because you are the best, Mark, at conducting interviews clearly. Daryl said sincerely. Mark blushed again. I need everyone to see this and hear my words. Okay, sputtered Mark. When I came here over 200 of your years ago, I was complete. For many, many moons, I played in the blue, in the blues of the sky and in the depths of the ocean. You see, my ship is paired with my nervous system. If I turn red or yellow or pink, my ship follows suit. Each color stated, Daryl's skin actually changed to that color. Mark's jaw almost hit the floor. Then Mark smiled, a thought forming in his head, and it was a good one. Can you do spots? Mark asked, a childhood Dr. Seuss book swinging in his mind, encouraging his child to take a little breath of life. Yep. And Daryl's skin went purple with yellow spots. Mark clapped quickly and giggled. You see, Mark, back when I was a bit younger, blue was my favorite color. I could zoom and play in the blues and still be seen. From time to time, some human would catch a glitter or glare from the sun off of my ship. I lived for those moments of sparked imagination and feeling, for the connection and the challenge of staying a hidden, objective observer to such a strange species. Mark was lost, searching for a thought long ago tossed out. Wait, when I was 8, I remember thinking a piece of the sky moved. It was incredible. Mark's little one finding his voice again. Daryl frowned. That was just before the change, just before every person was given an AI smart device and an AI car. I watched humanity lose its ability to look up and see the blue. I mean, even advertisers stopped using signs and started using sidewalks. Every neck a downward bend. No one reads eyes and everyone reads toes. What does this all mean? Asked Mark. I can't do this anymore. I have been flying around in a multicolor ship for a year of your time and no one has even noticed. My joy of blue has been stripped of me by the god of thoughtless comfort. I will not stay on this planet another day to watch humanity kill its own imagination. With that, Daryl stood up, his skin turning back to blue, and left the building. Daryl climbed into his now blue ship and left Earth forever. 3 things happened after Daryl left that had not happened in a very long time. Mark finally gathered his wits and strained against his neck bend to look directly into the camera. I am walking home tonight, Mark stated with a bit of a shocked tone, his inner 8-year-old shouting for joy. Mark then stood up, straightened his back and neck at the best he could, and left the building, his personal AI device buzzing quietly on the chair.
Loved it.
That
There
was
was
so good.
nothing weird
was
about
so-
it. It was awesome.
So
Maybe there's nothing weird.
It was
about
pretty
it.
strange.
So weird.
It was
I
so
know.
It was very good though.
and
was
creative. I
Yeah.
just loved it.
I couldn't stop picturing that as a
I know.
little animation. I really couldn't. That's all I could picture that as is a little animation.
Especially the dialogue.
Yeah, the little alien sitting there and the human like. Ooh. The best interviewer on earth. It's like Joe Rogan, right? The best interviewer, and he's like, I don't know what to say.
Well, and I loved when you start talking about all the AI cars and the everything turning AI and the AI phones and everything and everybody looking down and that we're only seeing toes. No one's looking up anymore. And I thought that was super interesting because it's truly what happens many times. Everyone sits around and does their phone and they aren't even communicating anymore.
And they're not being aware of what's going on around in the beauty of their surroundings.
That's literally happening though. They've started putting stop signs on the sidewalk now so that people can look at them while looking at their phone. Yeah.
Honestly?
Yeah, in certain parts of, I think it was the UK.
Did you say like on the sidewalk?
On the sidewalk.
On the ground?
Yeah, so that
people
people
are
don't walk into the
Because they're
road
not
while
looking up.
looking on their
Right.
phone. Yeah.
It was kind of it made me think of Grandma. Not that she, no.
Well, she was an alien.
No, 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 no,
She's a
no.
color-changing alien.
No.
I knew it. That lady was strange.
Not that she looked at a phone, but because her mind flipped so much on her, she wouldn't sleep in a bed. And by the time she passed away, her neck, she literally hunched over. And I feel like we are doing the same things every time we look at the phone and we hold it for hours. We're hunching over, and it's just that was a crazy thing, right? That for 4 months she wouldn't get into a bed, so she literally hunched over. But if we continue on the path we're all continuing with phones and all of the things, we will miss everything that's up.
Daryl was he was the keeper of the blue, and it felt like he was like keeper of color, and he had spent 200 years trying to show humanity the beauty of these colors, and he was tired that nobody was paying attention to what he was doing, but one person did after he left, and that was Mark. Yeah, I thought it was really clever, really good.
It was really good. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, it's literally the amount we look down. It's literally changing our anatomy. We have a brother-in-law named Matt, and he's a chiropractor. And he was telling me about a bone that teenagers are growing out of their neck because as they're looking over so much, it's pulling on muscles, and tension. It's creating a literal bone, a spike out of people's necks that hasn't been there before. Yeah.
That's crazy. I just have to say this. I didn't write it in my story, but I was going to write a part about a UFO that
really?
I actually, can I share my little story that I didn't?
That's what we're doing, I think.
I didn't.
Sharing stories.
No storytelling here.
Well, I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
Stop.
I didn't get it right in here, but there was a time when I lived at the top of a hill, and this particular time I was sitting out front. I was probably like 12 or 13, and I was all by myself, and I was sitting on the steps. And we lived on a huge hill that you looked down, like it went way down. And I was just staring at the sky, and I was watching everything, just different things flying around. I mean, we could see just tons of stuff. And I kept watching this dot, like I thought it was a dot. And then I was thinking, what is that? And I thought, oh, it's a plane. And so I kept watching it. And pretty soon it just stopped. And it just kept staying there. And I must have watched it. I feel like I watched it 20 minutes or something. I don't remember how long it was, but I remember specifically thinking, wait a minute, that is not a plane. And then all of a sudden it just went. It just, phew. And I was like, I think I saw a UFO. And I remember thinking, well, that's silly. And then
How old were you?
I was like 12.
It just happened. We turned into a UFO podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
Now you gotta tell your UFO story. You have to.
I'll save it. I want to
You're
write
going to write
about
about it? Okay.
Well, he has one, so.
it. It was real.
We have one too. We all have one, actually.
Yeah.
Which I'll say, well, then maybe I won't, actually.
Maybe
Maybe
I'll write about it.
I'll take inspiration from you.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Jeffrey have one.
We can't say it now.
Oh, yeah. You got,
Oh, you guys did.
yeah,
yeah,
you do have
The
one.
Marvelites.
Well,
The Foo Fighters.
Do you-
We saw what the Foo Fighters saw.
no, there's orbs. I just saw. No, listen. I just saw Tyler.
Tyler Joseph.
No. He sings good songs,
What
but
about
no.
Shout out.
He is
Yeah.
an alien.
Come on
I actually
our
think he's an
podcast.
alien.
on our podcast.
Come tell a story.
Hey, Tyler Joseph, you're an alien. Come prove us wrong on the podcast.
Okay, no.
Love the show, by the way.
Josh Dunn.
And Josh Dunn.
Who is the
Well, we
young?
don't forget about you.
Okay, wait. Who is the young man that was on Netflix? He had a show, and he's a psychic, and he's like young, like in his 20s, and he's amazing.
You guys really liked it.
Tyler was no. I don't know. Oh, I gotta look you up, and I don't have my phone. Anyways, you're amazing, and I will figure out your name. But he.
So awkward.
That's terrible. Anyways,
That's that
he
person.
just.
Can I have like 1,000 mediums? It's me.
He did it. He read someone. He read a young lady, and he told a story about an orb that was around this lady. Anyways, if I can remember, I'll.
Too long to get there.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's our mother,
Some
everybody.
interesting stories for sure.
Well, I think that really matched today's theme, so.
I did too.
In a very unique way.
It was great.
Very unique way.
It needs to be a little one of your
The
little.
keeper of the blue.
Did you have anxiety around sharing that?
I just this strange thing existed in my head, so
But it was a great story.
But did the fact that strange thing existed in your head, did that give you anxiety? It kind of seemed like it in a way.
well, just I don't know if anxiety, just like how is this gonna sound when I
It was great.
Was it
share it?
was it in your head before the topic was? No.
I was thinking a lot about doing something, serious about my own childhood, like I've done for 3 times.
You're like,
This was such
Like,
a.
this is so boring.
This
It was
was such a.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see
Mom,
that?
Dad, love it.
My parents are now comfortable.
But yeah, this little alien kept just popping up in my head. So
It kind of reminded me of Jules.
It was so
You know?
cute. And
No, I
then
loved it.
great
That's very
movie.
unique.
Jules
I very,
was
very
great.
much liked it. We're gonna make that a little short film. You can be the alien.
gladly, gladly.
Annalie, you are next.
Are you
I
ready?
am.
Yeah.
Group one by age.
Okay. You have to
Well-
wait. You gotta wait.
It's like ruining a movie.
Look, I'm redact your statement.
Okay.
Redacted.
But the problem
Thank
is,
you.
I have to go.
No, that means
That's not a problem.
You
That's
can
actually.
take intermission.
I've got to say, Mom, it's not a problem.
that means
I think you need to work on that. Some EMDR with Jeff.
Most people.
I don't think it's a problem that you have to go to the bathroom.
that means that you're gonna go last.
Well, can I?
Just wave as you go, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so intermission, everybody.
No,
Take a little
it's
break. Yeah, you
oh.
can cut it out.
All right. Now talk.
A little intermission. It's fine. You can get prepared, Annalie.
Oh my god.
What's the matter?
No, she has to wait.
Can you take that out?
I don't know
if
if I should read both of them or I should just read the poem that I wrote.
Sure you want.
Oh, just
Do what you
pick one.
want.
We are excited to hear.
Do whatever you'd like.
Yes, I am, Annalie. You should see what I wrote. This.
All right, Mom, you gotta go to the bathroom.
Is that recording?
Yeah, it's all recorded. I won't redact any of that. That's all I'll say.
Would you please save me one gulp?
No, I can just get you one.
Oh, then you.
Oh,
can.
There literally are like one goal.
That's true. It's a one gulp
That's why
can.
we.
I challenge
That's
you.
why we
Get
do.
out of the crook.
It's dietitious.
I could actually. I could share yours.
If anyone wants to go on her program, you're welcome.
Her dietitian's program.
Hey, I think
Why haven't you gone?
Actually, nobody should take that advice.
a small can is
And we
better
are
than a
not.
big.
We are not liable for that. We are not any of us dietitians. So.
Well, in this case, this was my crazy idea of if we're gonna try to be better.
You gotta lean forward, Dan.
Is it go? Is it recording?
Yeah, it's all recording.
Oh man.
So we're
If we're going to try to be healthier, even though no soda is healthy, but if we're going to try to be healthier, then why not have a smaller can to quench your thirst
Maybe
than a larger can?
maybe Coke's mini cans will sponsor you one day. We'll have all the
Coke
Cokes.
or Sprite or Dr. Pepper.
Isn't what's the parent company? What owns all of it?
I think Coke.
Isn't it Coke?
I don't know.
That's my guess.
7
I
Up
was
is a.
I was meaning
It's either
that
Pepsi or
it's
Coke.
Pepsi or Coke, right?
Inform us in the comments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pepsi or Coke.
So Mom and I now drink a little can instead of going to Maverick and getting a 32-ounce soda.
Can you imagine buying Coke stock when it first started?
Cocaine filled. You would have loved
Right? Cocaine filled.
it. Medicine.
It was medicine.
It was medicine.
like snake oil.
Was cocaine filled anti-depressive medicine?
It's not that anymore.
Was this back in the 1920s?
I don't know. It was long. It was a long time.
I think early 1800s. But I could be
inform us
completely.
in the comments.
Look, we're so uninformed.
yeah, we are so.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
I
it's
haven't, read the news.
news.
I haven't read the news in months.
I haven't.
It's really funny listening to us talk because it's so glaringly obvious that none of us know what we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
Exactly.
Exactly
Okay,
that.
I have the psychic's name.
Oh, you looked it up?
That's why you went to the bathroom.
No, I
Probably.
really had
Hey, Mom, you gotta look into that camera and say it.
Tyler Henry, I love you. Okay, he did a thing.
Fangirling.
No, what did you say today about every star that's gonna come on this podcast?
Oh yeah, right.
What did you say? She said, no, they're gonna. I was talking about how it'll be cool if we could just have somebody over and it would just be normal and some people were ignoring them and some people were
just be
talking to
normal.
them. Just be normal. And Mom's like, no. At the beginning, I'd be like, I love you.
So I feel
I
embarrassed
make-
thinking about it.
I make you awkward at all times of your life.
No, that's a blanket statement.
It
Hey,
is?
grab a little
All
Sprite
time.
for me.
No, not okay. Just that
Thanks.
sometimes you've been around me.
Sometimes, yeah.
Is that a better way to state it?
Yep.
All right. This is. I can't wait to hear what you've done.
Don't get your hopes up.
What?
All right, let's do it.
He's coming. He got himself a soda.
Not myself.
No, that's thank you.
Okay.
It's up to Spring.
Action.
So I tried to make a different kind of poem, but then I had to change it back to the way I just write. So you get what you get. Okay? Okay. It's called When I Was Young. When I was young, I liked blue skies with puffy clouds of all shapes, all sizes and shapes. I liked unicorns, rainbows, castles, princesses, and princes with capes. When I was young, I believed in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy. I believed in happily ever afters, good dreams and bad dreams that were very scary. When I was young, I loved to smell peonies, snap snapdragons, and feel the petal of a rose. I loved dancing, singing songs, and wearing my grandma's shoes and clothes. When I was young, I explored the farm, rode horses, and helped milk cows. I explored mountains of hay bales and tracked families of kittens with tiny meows. When I was young, I wished for dreams to come true. I have learned to keep dreaming and see them all the way through.
Oh, that was awesome.
It was good.
You write great.
You sparked a memory for me of being in my grandparents' barn. They had like big piles of hay, and there'd be little cats in there, and we'd jump off the hay bales and swing. And
I did that too.
I know, I was thinking that we were just meant to be.
I was thinking he was your prince in the capes.
Is that why you were
Multiple
shaking your head at the very beginning? Or was it because of Annalise rhyming?
Oh, was it rhyming?
That was what I thought.
I love
I saw
her
Jeff
rhyming.
shaking his head and I was like, it's because she's just rhyming so good.
You do. You do so well.
I cannot help myself. I tried.
And it's funny
I
'cause
tried.
we all have to try to rhyme. She has to try not to rhyme.
Oh gosh. Yeah, if you could see the other one that I wrote, it doesn't go well.
Well, do you want to read it? Or?
Nope.
Oh.
No.
I thought this one went well. You started off with the
When I was younger.
blue theme.
When I was young.
When I was younger. Yeah, the blue wasn't
Like
right there.
blue
skies.
skies.
Oh, the blue
Yeah.
skies.
She did it.
And
Yeah.
at the end, you learn to see your dreams through, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm glad to know that happy endings have died for you.
Yep, you got
I didn't say they died.
I don't know how it ended.
No. That was like middle.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
what?
wait. I didn't get that.
I believed in happily ever afters.
Yeah, I believed. Yeah.
Okay. Good dreams and bad dreams that were very scary.
As a kid, I believed.
I used to say I don't believe in all this stuff still.
You're totally right. I was
You
making
could be
that.
my prince in a cape.
That's what
wear
I
many
said.
capes.
Do you? Dude,
Role play.
it was you! You were the culprit.
Oh, I should tell a
Jeff.
story.
You were the
Jeff,
culprit.
Don't tell a story.
What story?
Okay,
You're
so
off air.
my first idea was writing about Grandpa.
Aw.
And so I wrote a whole story about him, but I could never figure out how to add in when I was young, I liked blue. And so then,
So will you share that next time?
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I'll
Well,
share.
that'll
Okay.
probably be in that. She's already got another story
Well,
for
awesome.
next time.
Well, good, because it's really hard to write with a 6-month-old.
Aw.
Especially one who's very fussy right now.
Yeah, so.
He is very fussy.
Is he getting teeth?
Well, he got allergic. He had an allergic reaction to something, so I think he's all itchy.
He's
His skin's all
itchy.
red.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out.
That's
Aw.
sad. He was really mad when you took his cup earlier.
He was really mad.
He really screamed.
He gets really fixated on things.
Well, he is an infant.
I think he's
It's about developmentally
strong-minded.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to live in the moment, which is good.
August, if you're listening to this in the future, we're talking about you.
Oh, he will. Oh, he will. When he was young.
When he was young. That's very good. That fits the theme. He liked blue.
Mom, you're up.
Oh, okay. Is this in the right place? Yes.
Yes, you're in the right spot.
Oh, okay.
You found it.
The rocking chair that we've sat in every time.
Yeah, I'm confused by our statement a lot.
It's the Alzheimer's kicking in.
Is
Okay.
it?
That's sad.
No, I'm gonna find joy in it.
I don't.
You won't
How
know
will
what's
you know?
happening.
That's right. So we're gonna find joy. If it happens, we're finding joy. Okay.
We'll make fun of you while you won't dance. We will make very, very much fun of you.
Okay. Anyways, this was really hard for me. I couldn't seem to think of anything that sort of, you know what I mean? I thought of one topic, but it got shattered. So it wasn't until this morning that an idea popped in my head. And then after we finished dinner, I wrote it. So hopefully it's understandable. All right. In 1969, I was young, about 5. I lived in a house at the end of a cul-de-sac. We didn't have any blue in our house, except for maybe one of my brother's Matchbox cars or a yo-yo. Our house was filled with colors of orange and green and gold. Those were the ones that my mom loved. In the backyard, my dad loved to grow a garden with the tallest sunflowers I ever saw. We had a couple of fruit trees and blueberry bushes and lots of grass. My mom loved to plant daisies, hydrangeas with, which can be many different colors, but my mom loved green, blue, and purple ones. We had a train that came by our backyard every day except Sunday. When you heard the rumble, you knew it was coming. I had 2 dogs living on the cul-de-sac. The first one we had for only a week. My mom gave the little puppy a pill and it choked. He died on the way to the veterinarian's office. The next dog we got was Teddy. He had a little blue collar. My mom didn't like him because he chewed everything in the house. She decided he was going to a new home. She locked him in the garage while we waited for the new family to pick him up. There was a hole in the garage with a wire over it. Teddy put his little face up to it, and I cried. I told him I loved him. He was my best friend. We moved to a house on top of a hill. I would stand on the deck and look at the valley below. I felt like we were high above everything. In the mornings, the valley would be filled with fog, but we would have a beautiful blue sky. We lived 10 minutes from the beach. I loved to build sandcastles. I loved to watch the blue sea and the blue sky come together and wonder how long it would take me to sail to the end. One Christmas Eve, I was outside as the sun went down and the sky became a dark gray blue. I was looking up, and I swear I saw Santa and his reindeer go by. It was definitely the best Christmas that year. My dad worked for Sears and Roebuck. We always had to wear tough skin jeans. I loved Winnie the Pooh. I even had been invited to a Sears and Roebuck store to meet Winnie the Pooh. I made the newspaper. Sears and Roebuck sold all the Winnie and Pooh characters. So on my 9th birthday, my dad and mom surprised me with inviting Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore to my party. I can't even describe how excited I was to see them. I ran and hugged Winnie the Pooh, and then I ran to hug Eeyore. The thing I remember most was that he was the most beautiful shade of blue.
I had a funny thing happen when you were reading that.
Wait, are you done?
Yeah, sorry.
I was so confused. I was waiting for the next page.
Oh, sorry. And the thing I meant to tell you is there was some fiction in that but there was a lot of truth. And I wanted you guys to tell me like what you thought was true and what you thought wasn't real. And so I meant to do that.
I know the Santa Claus story is real.
Yeah.
I'm guessing your dad worked for those two.
Sears. It was called
Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck. I'm not saying it right.
Oh, it was a combination.
Yes.
That's what they called
That's
it.
what they called it.
That
And
was
then
the
it just went
company
to
name.
Sears
Yeah.
at one point. And yes, they
Did your dad grow tall sunflowers?
the tallest. He
He
would
did?
grow the tallest, biggest sunflowers.
Cool. You-
That was like his goal.
Really?
Yeah.
He had sunflowers in this house,
Yeah.
close to us.
He did,
I
but
remember
he
that.
would they were wild.
They were?
Yeah. He would specifically he gardened. He loved to have a little garden and then he grew the sunflowers. He loved
I
it.
don't
And my
ever
mom-
remember him gardening. So
And
I
my
must
mom,
have-
that was, well, he was young. It was 1960.
He did.
I mean, they always had like a yard garden. They never had like a garden.
Did they?
back
No,
by
he had a garden in
the
the other house.
horseshoe pits, back by the horseshoe pits, he planted.
We planted a
few
couple
things.
things
Yeah.
the first few years.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do you think?
Teddy
So,
was
the
fake.
cul-de-sac.
The
Teddy
cul-de-sac
was real.
was true.
You had a dog
That-
electrocuted
Yes,
itself?
I knew. I
That
knew
was
that.
the darkest,
No,
saddest story.
He
No,
electrocuted
no,
himself.
you got
No, the other puppy.
No.
The first puppy, that's true too.
Choked and died.
No, yeah, my
choked
mom.
and died.
So
You
this,
had-
the true, so
He
the,
chewed on wires.
no. So,
I was
so
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
what?
In the story.
Here,
What?
I'm gonna read
And
this.
then she
Into it.
said, and I was so sad, and I said goodbye, I love you.
No.
No,
She said that.
Yes, she
No.
did.
Wait.
Adelie knows that I know.
She said that.
I know, and you know.
Happy and I know.
All right. So the little puppy, that is a true story. We had him a week.
But what is the
No,
true
don't-
story?
No,
Electrocution
Wait,
or
wait.
the-
And then Teddy was the true story.
Read the garage. Your mom locked him in the garage,
So my mom locked him in the garage,
Read it.
and there was a hole cut
Yep.
in the,
and there was a wire.
and there
Keep
was
going.
it was a
Stuck his
it
head
was
through
a
the
great.
wires.
No. Just read it.
Goodbye, I love
We know what
you.
All right,
you're talking
read
about.
it.
Just read
Okay.
the story,
Just
and
read
we'll
it.
tell you.
All right, somebody. Everybody's
Okay.
calm down.
All right. She decided he was going to go to a new home. She locked him in the garage while he waited for the new family to pick him up. While we waited for the new family to pick him up, there was a hole in the garage wall with a wire. Sorry,
Keep going. Keep
not
going. No,
wire.
no, 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 no,
Wire with a wire over it. I meant to wire over it. Teddy put his face up to it like this.
Well, what did you write?
No, that's what she wrote.
Put it up to it, and I cried. He sat at the little crate.
Did you
And he
say
put his
that
little
you,
face.
Did you say I love you?
Yes, I told him I loved him, and he was my best friend.
So he didn't get electrocuted?
Through the
No.
I'm
through
so
the
He
hole.
had literally, there was no. Oh,
choked.
that was the other dog. The first dog we had for 1 week. My mom gave him a pill, and the poor little
Wait.
puppy was like this big.
You
and-
had a dog for a week and it choked to death?
yes,
And then you
my
had another
mother.
dog
Your
after
mom
that
killed
dog?
the dog?
Hold
My
on.
mom, no, she gave it a pill, and I don't remember why she gave it the pill. And she carried it out, was dying in her arms, and driving to the vet office, it died.
That must have been very traumatic for your mom.
Yes,
That's why she didn't
like dogs. Well, then, so we get Teddy, and Teddy, my mom hated him because he chewed up all my books and all my things, and I loved him. He was the cutest little dog. And the day she was getting rid of him, there was a cement, and I don't remember what they're called. That was my problem. But it was like a hole cut in the garage, and they have them, and there's like a grate over it.
Yeah, it's like a vent.
A vent. That's what I was going to
for
say,
moisture.
but
It's just
it's
a
just
vent.
for air in the garage, and it's low to the ground, and it's like the square. And Teddy came and put his little face up at that wire, and I was crying. And I'm like 5 years old,
I'm
and
glad. I thought the dog got electrocuted.
no. And I was like, I was crying, and his little face was sitting there, and I told him I loved him, and he was my best friend.
I'm glad you explained that because I think a lot of people are like, holy crap, what happened?
2 dogs dead? They're dog serial killers. Take the dogs out of their home.
So what else do you think? Can you remember anything else? Or
I had
Cul-de-sac was true.
yeah, you didn't know that, but
Yes, I did. It was Pacifica.
No.
This is different.
Yeah, cul-de-sac is
But
when I
you
was
said
5.
you said you looked down over the valley and
Get
the
the story
fog.
straight, honey. It was the first house on the cul-de-sac.
But the fog and the beach was Pacific.
Okay, and what do you think about the train?
The train?
Oh, okay.
I don't remember a train.
I have to read the whole thing.
I had.
The train went past our yard.
Oh my god.
And it
every
rumbled.
day except Sunday.
Every day but Sunday.
Not true. It was Wednesday.
Absolutely.
So nothing in your story was false.
No, the dog did not have a blue collar.
Wow!
Wait, my
That's crazy.
mother did not grow hydrangeas. Well, she might have, but not that I know of.
We would have heard.
Oh wait!
way harder than I thought
My
you did.
dad did not do blueberry bushes.
Wow!
But he did sunflowers.
Yes, he did.
You're the master of this game.
No one knew my story. I didn't tell you before. Anyways, what did you think?
Even if you told us
Even
before,
if
we
you
would
told
have
us
never
before,
guessed
it
those
would've-
things.
Okay,
Sweetheart, it was really cute. And I just have to say, from being your companion for 40 years, I wish that I could have been your friend when I was a young boy. From listening to your story.
Well, the fun thing about thank you, honey. I would have loved. Well,
I
I
would
think
have
we
been-
would have got in
hated
trouble.
him.
I would have
No,
been your friend.
I would have thought he was dorky.
He was also a little bit of a player in his younger years.
He was, and I would have
Yeah,
thought he
when I
was
was
a player.
nine. When I was
we
nine,
would have been best
absolutely.
friends. Not you were a player, but my dad used to sail, and we used to sail. Did you guys? Anybody know that
I
about
did.
Grandpa? He
Yes,
had a
I did.
sailboat,
Dad.
and that's
You
why
told me.
I forgot.
You told me.
Anyways, but I used to think how I could get to the end of the ocean.
You didn't put in the acorn fights.
Well, I was trying to stick to everything blue.
Oh, blue.
There
That's
was
right.
a theme there.
There was a thing.
Acorns are not.
That went right over my head.
Seriously?
Yeah.
There
Are
was
you-
But that's just on my
blue
list.
collar.
Wait a minute, are you serious?
There was so
There really
there
was a
so
train
much-
that went past our backyard. I don't know why my parents
No, I'm
bought
not
it at the
doubting
end
you.
of this cul-de-sac, and the train would go by every day.
There was so much blue in your story that the dog had a blue collar. That wasn't true.
Right. And the blueberry bushes.
Oh, the blueberry bushes.
Wow.
That was so much
Right.
blue.
I had a funny moment while listening to your story, and you messed up on a word,
Oh,
and
I know.
you said Santa and his reindeer, and I was sitting there and I was imagining like
Did I
this
not
little girl
say
looking up in the
reindeer?
sky, and I was like imagining seeing Santa, and then she says Santa and her reindeer, and all of the reindeer just turned into beer cans in my head.
It's really funny. So my mind did something similar, but it was the reindeer drinking beer. That's where my mind went.
Okay. So I have to tell you one other thing. So what do you think about, was I in the newspaper with Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh came to your house.
No. Was I in the newspaper with Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, wait. Is it a trick question? She's the best. You gotta think about this.
Now I have to read the whole last page.
She's gonna be like this. That wasn't even in my
Did you say
story.
that the Winnie the Pooh
No,
came to your house?
I said, listen. We always had to wear Tuxkin jeans. That was because Dad would make us wear the
I heard
Sears
that, yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
And then I loved Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I even had been invited to a Sears store to meet Winnie the Pooh. I even was made the newspaper.
That was true.
I think true.
That's true.
True.
That was
true
true.
story.
I think you wouldn't have made
Because
it up.
fame is something you've been soaking
What?
up since your earliest years.
Didn't we see a newspaper
Yeah, we
article
found it
from
in my
your
dad's stuff. I didn't even remember I was
That's
in the
cool.
newspaper. I found it.
Well-
Okay, then wait. Did Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore?
Okay, wait.
Did Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore come to my birthday?
False.
Yes.
False. Your parents were way too cheap for that.
Your mom killed 2 dogs.
Okay, one part of that is true.
Okay, that's
Winnie the Pooh.
that's
Only
me.
Winnie
That's
the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh part.
mean.
When I don't remember what age. I was 8 or 9, but they had the real Winnie the Pooh came.
The real one.
Yep, he came.
Straight out of the cartoon.
He came. I was so excited that Winnie the Pooh came to my party. And my dad got to use it because he got the stuff from Sears. They had all the outfits.
Just like
So
you
the
saw-
neighbor boy was Winnie the Pooh.
Just like you saw Santa and his reindeer.
No, that was true.
His reindeer.
That is 100% true. Anyways.
That was good.
All right, Dad. I think you're the last
Okay
one.
for it.
Well, being the oldest, that's probably true.
This story made me smile though. Thanks. Thanks.
I think it made us all
Made
smile.
me laugh.
It made me want to be your friend.
Aw. All right, this isn't possible.
Well,
Well, you've done it once, so
that's what I was thinking. We do have video camera footage.
I know, that's embarrassing.
You have a lot of things that you say you didn't say or didn't do.
I know,
We're
but
now
you'll
going to
have
catch it
proof.
all.
Oh boy. Oh, the soda went down.
Don't
Is
open
that
that.
why you needed it? Is it for the story? Ah, it's for the story.
He's going to have to open it because he asked for one more gulp. So it's going to be a part of it.
Oh man, he's gonna explode all over the place. He matches. What the heck? All green. Obviously, there's something with the story.
I
This
think you
dog
missed the
doggy.
theme.
People are just gonna
Mom,
watch this
what do you say
for what
when
he does every week.
What do you say when things happen?
Oh geez.
No. Must be Alzheimer's setting in,
Well, dementia, whatever.
or whatever.
Gosh golly.
I don't know.
Golly
Will you
gee.
straighten yourself
Honest
out?
truth.
No.
What do you mean?
Just
No, the
turn
chair.
the chair.
This way?
Yeah, that way. Yep.
All right. Let's hope that this can doesn't
It's
explode.
going to explode. Don't.
I kind of hope it does. Hold it up a little bit higher to your face. No, to your face. Hold it to your
Jeez,
face.
what just went out?
Just water.
Okay. Wow. That was a long anticipation.
Again?
Peyton, thank you for getting me a Sprite.
You're welcome.
You might want to wait a second, Dad.
No, it's okay.
That's good.
Very good.
I mean, if you
So-
need to
You can take a second.
So I remember last week, as we were reading and as I was reading, I think someone in the group said that it's better maybe to not wear a hat.
Did I say that or did somebody?
We just said
I
that
can't remember.
this time. Because
Did we or did we say it last
Because
week?
you're in a hat last time.
It's
and
okay.
you're like
I,
this.
it's fine. I realize.
So
it's fine.
maybe
I'm gonna wear
hats.
hats still.
Huh?
I'm gonna wear hats still. You just turn it backwards.
That's true. Just
No,
flip it backwards.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
Just do it.
Wait, what?
I don't. No, I do. I wear the hat back.
well, do it. You'll
Hey,
be
I
really
wear. I
This
wear my.
podcast is all about growth and change. This is
Yeah,
your chance,
look at me.
Dad.
Yeah, but I have a
sat
hard
there
time.
and-
I have a hard time.
Just
with
flip
I
it
was bummed
backwards.
I didn't-
Just flip it
The
The
backwards.
only time I ever wear my hats backwards is when I'm trying to protect my neck from getting
Well, yeah,
too
we'll
much
sit
sun.
on his head.
There
There
you
we
go.
That
go.
looks pretty good.
Hey, you're handsome.
Just got awkward.
Yeah, and I want to be your friend.
What? Did you say that to the camera? Everybody's gonna feel so awkward now.
A lot of different media.
A lot of older women are gonna be blushing in the face.
And some gay men too.
Or the three people that watch it, honey. What are you talking about? Okay, go ahead.
So
Why did you bring us down?
We have actually 34 people watching us an episode.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She just passed gas.
I did not. That was a whistle's back. I think I have a high alarm.
It whistles back.
I thought you had that taken care of.
Oh, I think it might be back.
All right.
Can we put that out?
The title of this piece is Shades of Green.
Whoa. I could have guessed that.
I think I need another sip.
The funny thing, he doesn't even like Sprite. He drinks Dr. Pepper.
I know.
This is all just to finish Shades of Green.
Better than shades of gray.
Right.
yes.
Well.
All right. When I was young, I liked blue. I think. Did I? Or was it yellow? I don't know. I can't recall. I don't remember. It was so long ago, a lifetime ago. I was young, my life just beginning. Like a seed newly planted, the golden sun's warmth, coupled with ice blue hues of life, sustaining moisture, saturated dark organic soil, until with nurtured care, a little new seedling bursts upwards, growing vibrantly towards the light. Memories of my toddler's life, or probably just my mind's wishful moments, recreated. My parents kneeling by an old cast iron tub. Baby's new loved experience, splashing playfully in a shallow light blue warm water. Bottoms up, the little navy blue boat navigates tiny turbulent seas, while Squeakers, the yellow rubber ducky, struggles to keep his head above baby roughed waters. Oliver, the turtle, a smile of sheer enjoyment plastered across a rubber face, seems to love the rocky ride. Tiny hands go from incessant splashing to Oliver with no intentions of letting go. He lovingly gazes up at adoring parents. Playful, baby blue eyes are drawn to his mother's bright saffron blouse and then to his father's admiring eyes. Laying on an endless sea of grass, small hands pillowing a tiny head, bright sunny yellow orb smiles rays of warmth down upon baby blue eyes of wonder that penetrate upwards towards the azure sky. Eyes of curiosity watch a flickering screen. Grover, the dark powdered blue monster, ravenously devours his favorite food, turning cookies into flying crumbs. Big Bird, the canary yellow feathered friend to all, shakily rides a unicycle down the street, holding his umbrella while pleasantly singing, "I wish it would rain." My attention moved almost magically to Oscar the Grouch, constantly complaining and arguing about something, anything, living in his old beat-up garbage can. I giggle. Oscar's the best. "It's raining like cats and dogs," his mother would say, as the sun's bright golden rays permeated the slate blue downpour. A beautiful rainbow appeared. Fascinated by its myriad of colors, I followed the indigo ribbon of the arc down, 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 until it seemed to my imaginative young mind that the blue color streamed into a pot of glowing gold coins, with a mischievous dancing leprechaun prancing proudly as he tapped the cauldron with his glittering walking stick. Sucking on lemons made me pucker with a wrinkled face. Blueberries adorned my whole grain oat Cheerios. What is a kiwi? I wondered. It sounds like some kind of flightless bird. Running through rows of skyscraper tall corn stalks topped by cream-colored tassels, splashes of corn yellow caught my eye as covered corn ears continuously bumped against my tiny passing shoulders, stopping to catch my breath in what seemed to my young mind the middle of a cornfield in the magical land of Oz. Cranking my little head upwards, my deep blue eyes peered into an unseeing sapphire universe. The cobalt blue sky stared back at me. And then I was gone, running as fast as my tiny little legs could go, loving life, loving the moment, loving the adventure. My little legs taking me somewhere into the next moment, towards my next adventure, somewhere. I didn't seem to care where. A kaleidoscope of blues and yellows entered my realm of childhood existence, creating in my awareness a love for something more. I can't quite put my tiny little finger on it. Something more vibrant, more fertile, more natural, living, growing, springing forward, alive. Some type of rebirth and renewal, cool relief, calming me, healing me, relaxing me. This childhood journey became my beautiful, amazing color transformation, toward my realization that when I was young, I knew I loved green.
That is very true. His favorite color. So, Dad, I really liked the part where you were talking about the water splashing and like the little toy you were describing. The
iron.
little
I thought it was in a tub.
what? Well, I just said water, but yes, the cast iron tub. Do you remember that in Washington? The
I
tub?
don't know. I don't remember that at all.
But you were just describing.
No, because I said memories of my toddler's life, or probably just my mind's wishful moments recreated.
Oh, okay. So, well,
That
anyways,
one, that one was a vision of
What it could've been like.
my parents kneeling, and I
Right,
was splashing
giving
with
back.
Did your parents have a cast iron?
Yeah,
tub?
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
what I like though is
They
the
did.
description of the little animals floating.
yeah. It was
I like it.
the tiny sailboat, the tiny blue sailboat, and the little yellow rubber ducky. But I was drawn to Oliver, the turtle.
Yeah, and I liked how you talked about his face, the plastic part of his face. But anyways, there was another part. I'm trying to think
Well,
now.
before you move from that
Go
part
ahead.
there, it made me think of because of what your parents have been through, them standing or kneeling or watching you in the tub must have been just different than just the average parents having a child. Yeah, a different moment.
Tell them.
I didn't think about that, Jeff, but that is so true.
What do you
Tell
what do you mean by
everybody
that?
why. What?
Well, when my parents were at Utah State, going to school together, newly married, had just had my baby sister was born, and 10 months later, she
Living in
passed away.
Washington.
Yeah, she passed away, and so they would have been very
Devastated because
devastated, but also very focused on
you doing everything.
on me as a
Yeah.
little baby.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
There was, what was it? At something you did at the end, and I can't. Well, I was laughing. I was trying to figure out what we were doing with Big Bird. Well, I was like, why is Big Bird riding down the street? And then you named Oscar and
Well, do you remember when Big Bird he would ride the unicycle,
through the town.
and he'd ride it through the town, and he'd sing songs, he wrote poetry.
I don't remember Big Bird riding.
Did you
poetry.
have to look up the names of the Sesame Street characters when writing this?
No, I knew
grew up with
Oscar,
that. Mr. Rogers.
I knew
No, I know.
Oscar, I knew Grover, I knew the Cookie Monster, and he would munch all these cookies, there'd be crumbs flying. Big Bird was always so affectious and kind, and Oscar was just a grouch, but he was great.
There's something you wrote at the end, and I can't. I got off track, but there's something I really liked, and I can't think what it was.
I like the imagery of you running.
Oh, that's what it was. Go ahead. What you're saying. It made me think of Paisley and how Paisley runs. So that's what I was thinking of you being that age and running. It just brought that to the picture was Paisley running.
As you were telling that, I was picturing you a little older,
Right,
like 6, 7.
probably. Running through
in
Cornstalk.
Cache Valley.
No, those Cornstalk memories
Are they
were
at
in
the
a couple
farm?
of places. They were when I was at Grandpa Tanner's farm when
That's
I
what
was
I was
between
thinking.
4 and 5. And there was also,
Because he was a farmer, right? So
that's what he was. He was
How
a
many
farmer.
acres did he have in
fields.
Weston?
He had about 1,000 acres of dry farm. Yeah.
that's a lot of acreage.
You said 1,000 acres?
Yeah, when
think
we
so.
were
I think it was
first
about
married
1,000
and they
acres.
were going to sell it.
Somewhere between 500 and 1,000.
When we were first married and they were going to sell it, we were at BYU. And I was like, maybe we should buy it. And I swear to you, I think it went for like $50,000.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
So maybe it wasn't 1,000. Maybe it was more like 500. 500 acres.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is, it was like the house, and I don't know if they sold the property different to someone else, and that was just the house at that time. I don't know. I'm sure they sold some acreage with the house.
Yeah, well, the house sat on a couple of acres.
Yeah.
And that
And I think
little
the
brick
house with a couple of acres, or whatever it was $50,000 at that time. And I thought, maybe we should move to like Weston. And I was like, what's in Weston? I don't even know what you would do in Weston. You know, but it was just kind of an interesting thought. Our life would have been very different had we. I'm not really for all you kids. Like,
Could have all still happened the same way.
still happened the same way, but it was such a, just an interesting thought.
So, and I don't know if did you feel the connection or the relation between blues and yellows in my young mind to turning blue and yellow together?
Making green?
Make green.
Oh, I didn't even
That's
think
why you
about
were
that,
confused
Jeff.
on what your favorite color was. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's really good. That shows you where I am. I didn't even think about that. I just remember the rainbow. You talking about the rainbow. You talked about the rainbow.
But that's why I had
right?
to pull the indigo as the ribbon that was pouring into the pot of gold, because I needed to get the blue and the yellow to produce the green leprechaun.
Okay, well, that went over my head. So
It's gonna be fun to re-listen to it with you stating that explicitly.
if we can hear it.
yes.
Oh,
Archie-
do I talk too?
No.
No,
I think
Archie's-
Dad was
We'll be
talking
able to-
just fine.
yeah, we'll be
I
able
think
to-
we'll
no.
hear you fine.
No.
Archie,
I'm just.
Yeah,
was
Archie was
drinking
part of the
water.
show. I know, I could hear it.
But that's the fun. We're crazy family, completely.
So did when I was young, I like blue. Did it work
Fit.
for
Fit really well.
even though it was shades of green?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we got it. I got it right when I was thinking.
'Cause you
I
grappled
asked
with
him
blue.
today.
Yeah, it was cool.
I asked him today, why the heck do you got two green? What are you doing? He's like, I'm cold.
That's what you told me.
Yes.
That was a lie.
You couldn't have just said it for my story.
No.
I just didn't want to give anything away.
Oh.
All right.
Well, Peyton,
I will.
Take us home. Finish it.
that's going to be a saying, Jeff. You've said it now.
What did Jeff saying?
Every time.
Take it home.
It's the same.
I think Peyton started it.
Did I? Really?
You have to look back, but I think you did.
In my head?
And
You created that. I'm not kidding.
I think he did. I think you've been the one that
I think
said
it's
it.
Peyton.
It might have been me. Might have been somebody else. Well, I hope everybody really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed this creation of this episode. So
Yeah, it's
It was fun to hear. Everybody's stories were different. I mean,
100%. So one thing we got to vote on, with everybody's stories being very different. What should the title? Oh, actually, the title of this episode is already decided. I guess. When I was young, I liked blue. What should the 5 stars at the end
you
be?
could have an interview with what's his name?
Daryl and Mark.
Daryl and
Mark might interview you.
Yeah, no.
You might
Give us a
you might
5-star
meet
rating.
Daryl.
You might be visited by Daryl.
Yeah.
Is everybody in unanimous decision?
I got a kick out of that.
fun.
And then, does anybody want to address anything or have any thoughts about last week's episode?
I miss Jeffrey.
Yeah, that was a really. I thought last week's was so sweet. Like I haven't listened to it again, but I just thought it was tender and sweet. The whole thing. With him.
Yeah. I was thinking how I missed his presence in this group setting and reading. I missed him being here.
Because out of the
With
kids,
us.
he really stays focused in with
Yeah.
us. We lose some of the other kids, but he just loved it, and that's
And I feel his genuine focus on everybody, listening to everybody's reading.
yep.
I really felt,
And
I missed that.
I loved his story last week.
Yeah.
I mean, listening to that again,
His oath, or
yeah, I thought there were so many things that hit me that I was so impressed with,
that was
like just of what the man he wants to be.
When that episode gets posted, you guys will cry.
Oh, did you hear it?
Yeah. Well, it's a very good episode. Last week's episode was very good. Having Zeke on.
Yeah.
Jeffrey leaving. All of it was very good.
I think that's what I find so amazing about this is when other people come and we've had guests. I love hearing what they have to say. I think it's really interesting, and to watch people and how they enjoyed it. It's really cool.
Yeah, if any family members, anybody listening to this wants to reach out and share a story, feel free to. We would love to all hear it.
Yep.
Possibly we might even read some fans or some fan stories on the podcast at the very end of future episodes, if that's a possibility.
Maybe there could even be a time, if there was enough, that each of us could read someone's story.
Yeah, we could do a whole week where we get to read and pick one.
Yeah.
That would be really, really
That would be
neat.
fun.
Yeah, there's lots
Hope
of
one day
things.
we're able to do that. That'd be cool.
Before we go, I just want to reinstate this is something we want to be as genuine as possible. So because of that, it's very different. It's very unique. And sometimes it might feel a little chaotic to some people. I know myself, I like podcasts to be a certain way because it's easy for me to listen to. But I think this is something special and that can really help a lot of people out in feeling genuine and feeling heard and in feeling like they have somebody there who's listening and who's talking with them also. So
Yeah, and just know the dogs licking water, chewing on bottle caps,
Yep,
having
babies-
to use the restroom, babies crying.
Toddlers running,
this,
babies
This
crying.
is us.
dogs running.
And
Another
in fact,
way-
I thought it was pretty mellow actually tonight.
Another way to say all that is welcome to the family.
You're welcome to Inside the Broken Family.
Welcome
and,
to our family.
Please, if you enjoyed, leave a 5-star review. Otherwise, you might get a visit from Daryl.
Yeah, I can envision that now. Totally.